does Taiji fit into your developing this whole perspective? Or is Taiji followed, or is it an integral part of your...
Taiji Chuan is it's a Chinese martial art. Taiji means, you must have seen Yin Yang.
Yeah, Yin Yang.
That is Taiji. If you want to talk like in terms of intercultural or interreligious dialogue, Shiva Shakti. It's their way of saying that. So before Taiji is Wuji. Wuji is like without form, non-manifest. It's the things before they manifest. And when they manifest, the first thing is this polarity, this interaction of yin and yang. And then from this interaction, yin and yang, everything else comes. Chuan means fist, or boxing. So Taiji Chuan is the boxing of the Taiji. And so sometimes Taiji they would call like the supreme ultimate. It's like the supreme thing as it is manifested. And maybe another thing. And so this martial art is very much rooted in the Taoist philosophy. It's a Taoist philosophy also, meaning it's not only a philosophy, it's a practice. And in the Chinese way, okay, I make a little generalization. Okay, so it's not exactly like this, but just that we have an idea. The Indians, spiritual traditions, you don't like very much to be here. You want to have moksha, you want to get out of here. Even in some yoga traditions, birth, it's a fundamental disease. It's not about like health or what. No, fundamental disease, you're born means you're not perfect. Otherwise you would not be here. So how to get out of here? That's it. How do you get out of here? And so many of the practices will be focused on that. And now other things that also come, I'm just generalizing. There's of course lots of different traditions, but the general idea is a bit like this. The Chinese idea, Taoist idea, is much, much more about we're here, the world is as it is. How do you harmonize everything which is there? How do you harmonize with everything which is there? So how do I harmonize? And the thing which is happening is life. Life is circulating. So how do I nourish my life? How do I become healthy? And actually from the Chinese perspective, if you really become healthy, that's like in yoga, really healthy means physiologically, psychologically, spiritually, all these things, complete, perfect health. The Chinese say then you become immortal. It's, for the Buddhists, they would say you become a Buddha, or you say you reach moksha, it's the same thing, basically. But the emphasis in reaching there is different. Instead of saying I have to fight against these things because I want to get out of it, it's more like, how do I harmonize more and more with all these things which are there and around, so that little by little, when everything is completely harmonized, that just naturally happens, I return to the Tao, or become one with the Tao. And so the practice is, let's say like Wuji, Taiji, 5 elements, and then everything, the 10,000 things, everything which exists comes out of this Yin Yang. So basically what you have to do is on the one hand to do the contrary. How from the 10,000 things can you return to Taiji, and from Taiji go to beyond? The yogi professionals are not allowed to answer, but the others would be curious to know if they know. What does Hatha Yoga mean? What is yoga? Yoga you know. Hatha. What does Ha and Ta stand for? Okay, the yoga professionals? sun and moon. It's the yin and yang energies. What do you do with hatha yoga? You also have to balance this polarity. You have to create the polarity, you have to get aware of the polarity, you have to integrate the polarity, and then you can go beyond that polarity. It's the same thing. Tai Chi is the same thing. So basically, how at the beginning when all your energy in your body is completely mixed up with everything, no, you have to polarize, you have to separate. Not separate, it happens naturally. And then little by little this fundamental polarity starts. And then you can go beyond that. And so in the Tai Chi, lots of the practices is first you have to take your vitality that you have to increase it, nourish it, and then refine it. That's what they call Jin. And then you will refine the Jin to Qi. Qi is a more refined version of let's say energy. Then you refine this more, it becomes Shen, which is the mind. You refine this more, open it up more. Then Shen becomes empty, becomes like a Ruji. And then once this is there, you become one with the Tao. And once you are gone that way, if you are a master, so this is the power to go up, then of course it's the other way around. It's the Tao which manifests itself, it will manifest in your mind, it will manifest in your energy, it will manifest in what you do. So it's like this, both up and down way, basically, that you have to do. And so the interesting thing is that when you're practicing Tai Chi, well, the basic principle is, the very basic is this Yin Yang. One way you can feel it is empty and full. You know, when you're stepping, one foot gets full, the other gets empty. You know, you're always in this balance, in this shifting rhythm of things. And so as you practice more and more, you know, you discover more and more different energies. And also the part in Chinese thought, they say there are practices where you don't move, like Qigong, Tang Chuan. You stand like for an hour, like asana, but like this standing posture. And they say outside does not move, inside moves. Meaning, okay, your body does not move, but energy circulating. Then they say Tai Chi, outside moves, inside does not move. Means, okay, energy, body is moving, but your mind is completely stable and still. So, the whole Tai Chi is one way of starting to listen more and more and also to transform basically like your human essence, if you want to put it like this. And then maybe the second thing, which is a difference between India and China, again I'm saying in a general way, is if you look at Dharma, Dharma is very much, it's static, it's order. You know, it's more like, it's the underlying order of how things are. It's this whole thing with the 4 yugas, and then, like, you know, then it's like the cow standing on 4 legs, standing on 3 legs, standing on. So it's this idea of it's stable. It's something which gives stability, which is the root of like maintaining, sustaining. I think that really what corresponds to Dharma in the Chinese context is Tao. But the whole notion of Tao, it's the same, but the emphasis is a bit different because Tao is what is always changing. Tao is the change. And if you want to understand the Tao, you have to understand the change. That is why there's also practices to hold still, but then why you practice with the movements? Because you have to understand movement. You have to understand change. You have to understand how everything is changing and how within all this everything that is changing, certain things don't change. And how is this interrelation happening? So that is where the Taiji Chuan will come in. And actually Taiji Chuan itself is only part, it's a martial art. But when you practice it, there's also other practices which is more like they call Qigong. Qi is energy. It's meaning like pranayama. It's mastering energy. Qigong. And then you have meditation practices and what they call internal alchemy. It's like you can say yoga practices. And then you have other martial arts. And for example, in Bhutan, where I'm studying, you don't only study Taiji Chuan, but you study different martial arts. And actually, the movements that you see in Taiji Chuan, which are very slow movements, that's just the first steps of the training. Because again, it works. Wherever it works, but it works. if you really want to develop the power, you have to develop the softness. If you really want to develop the speed, you have to develop the slowness. So that's why at the beginning you just work very slowly, very relaxed, no physical power, it's all with the intent. And that little by little it helps you to align your body, to energy start coming, harmonizing things, and also like not only the body, but the body, the awareness, the energies, intent, all these things little by little come together. And then of course, then you can use it quickly. In the martial art aspect, it is like this. But at the preparatory phases when you're practicing it, is all this thing of harmonizing body, mind, energy. So it also has like a health benefit, and then it also has at some level like more like a meditation in action. But instead of just sitting, your body will be practicing, but your mind will be sleeping.